Hello. Welcome in. It is not just Super Bowl Sunday today. It is my birthday and it is the day before trial. And I was really pissed when the first time I did the trial in this case, and I'm going to tell y'all a lot more about that as we go along. The first time we did the trial in this case, it did not bring closure to this case. And at this point, that was about 2 years ago. So I'm going to be sharing the behind the scenes look into what is involved when you say you want your day in court, when you say you want a lawyer up, when you say you want the judge to decide. I'm going to give you in this recording behind the scenes of the time and the expense that is required and why so many people end up frustrated with what the bill looks like. But the reality is that court starts way before you get to the actual courthouse. It is a lot of behind the scenes work. It is a lot of behind the scenes preparation. And as we continue throughout the day, my birthday, I'm gonna share some things with you why it takes even longer and even more effort for someone like me to prepare for court. So I need to figure out how to change the view of this. I don't know why it's like it keeps doing this circle thing. And I'm learning how to go in here and navigate. Okay, so full scene. It is Sunday morning, 10:12 a.m. It is my birthday, but it's also the day before trial. So when I got up yesterday, I had an email from the court letting my opposing counsel know that he needs to update the court about his status in trial. He's supposed to be in trial. And the way that it works here in Georgia is that in family law, there is a priority whenever two different cases have trial on the same day. If the trial is a criminal case, the criminal case trumps the family case. So basically, what has happened in this case, and I'm going to start showing you some things, and I'm really hoping for younger attorneys or law school students who are looking to start your career in law, I'm hoping that this will also serve as a mentorship insight into what is involved in preparing for trial, the kind of things that you want to do when you're preparing for trial. But this is my community service to you because it's my birthday. Since it's my birthday and I got to get ready for trial, I want to make the most of it by serving the community and by turning something that ordinarily would have really had me bent out of shape. I'm going to turn this into a benefit to the community. I'm not going to let my pain go to waste because this particular case is like the perfect example of everything that can go wrong in the court system that most people do not understand about the court system. And piece by piece and moment by moment, I'm going to share these things with you, and you're going to see why this thing is so expensive. So I want to start with, and y'all can start doing the math with me. I'm going to start with the fact that an attorney with my experience and my background is $425 per hour. Now, I'm not going to be on here all day because my hubby is taking me out this afternoon because I found a spot that I want to enjoy some good eats. But I want you to do the math. I want you to calculate how much this work, how much work and the dollar amount that this work would put on an invoice. And then again, I'll be sharing because it's partially walking you through my thought process while I'm preparing for court. So one of the first things that we do is a great place to start is going to your actual docket. So I'm going to grab a tab to put in the docket information for my case. All right, the screen I'm sharing, this is Research Georgia. This is one of the electronic records portals here in the state of Georgia where you can look up case information. So I'm grabbing my client's case number. To search for the docket. One of the things that I do when I'm preparing for trial, I do print out the docket. Having a physical printout of the docket is a great way to refer to events that have taken place in the case. This is the case that I'm going to trial on. This case is a child support modification. The parents were divorced not too long before the child support was modified. But as you can see, this case was filed in, let's see, June 14th, 2022. I began working on this case shortly after my client was served in June of 2022. So at this point, how much time has passed? June of 2023, June of 2024, that's 2 years. And now we're at the 2.5-year mark. So I've been calling this a 3-year long case because of the case number tells me it was filed in 2022. When I was first presented with this case, based on my review of the document, I represent the respondent. This is my client here. I am the attorney of record. The the issues were very simple, and I estimated that we would be able to have it done in the worst case scenario within a year. I want to go ahead and print this out because I need it for my physical file. Excuse me. So, as you can see, we've had all of these different events scheduled in this case. Now, Fulton County is the county where Atlanta proper is. The city of Atlanta is Fulton County. Fulton County is very unique out of all of the courts here in the metro Atlanta area because they have such a high volume of cases. One of the things that the court began doing, I don't know exactly when they began doing it because I didn't always practice in Fulton County, but Fulton County has an automatic 30-day scheduling apparatus to keep cases from slipping through the cracks. And that's why you'll see here 30-day, 60-day. We had another 60-day, 120 days. So it's supposed to look like 30, 60, 90, then 120 in 30-day increments. But again, as I prepare for trial, you're going to find out why our calendar looked crazy. So back in September of 2023, a little more over like a year. What I estimated, right? I estimated worst case scenario, we'll be able to have this case done in a year. And we had our trial on September the 8th, 2023, in front of Judge Newkirk. Now, what was really interesting and why I call this case the perfect storm, like everything that could go wrong goes wrong. This particular week was Judge Newkirk's last week before he retired from the bench. And so, I'm sorry, hold on. I didn't print out my stuff and I got to do that. I had to print out my stuff because I'm real extra about my physical file. It needs to be organized. I need to know where stuff is because I am a person with visual challenges. It takes me a little longer to see what I'm seeing because of my particular medical issue with my eyes. One of the things that people assume because you can see them that they can see you the same way that you see them. I'm not one of those people. I see the world through a very unique set of lenses. It requires a lot of courage for me to face the world and to show up in a world that I'm not obviously impaired. Like if I were to walk into a courtroom with some crutches, it would be obvious that I have an impairment. But when you're dealing with people with visual problems, unless they're walking in with the walking cane that you see people who are totally blind use, people don't realize that you need extra time, you need help seeing things. I can't tell you how many times I go somewhere and I need to find something and I'll ask a person, oh, where can I find such and such? And they'll just like, oh, over there. Taking for granted that everybody can see what over there means. Like, I really don't even see the details of your face until you're like close to me. Like, I can see your face here. That's what I'm working with. So trial is a great act of courage for me and has always been because I don't even see your face for real when I'm in here. So I have my docket report. And let me build my file. I thought I had them here. I do already have a physical file for this case. Excuse me. But I closed down the litigation work so long ago and all of my physical files. It would take me less time to just recreate the file than to actually go through the archives of physical files. Because I'm not wasteful and I'm not going to waste time. I'm not going to waste time when it's faster for me to rebuild the file than to search for the file. This is a classification folder. I love these. Oh, okay. I can shred these documents. I love these. These keep me organized. Where you have the classification folders, you've probably seen similar folders in the medical profession. Being organized is really, really important, not just with being a person with a visual impairment, but just not looking sloppy in front of the court. It's not a good look to be shuffling through your papers and everybody's sitting and waiting for you to find what you need to find. That's not cute. And because my practice is 100% virtual at this point, I am organizing my own file and preparing my stuff. So my son has been messing with my stuff, and my guide for the 2-hole punch. Y'all, this is the trial of my life. This is the trial of my life. You cannot make up my life right now. I am preparing for court the day before on my birthday, because the system is broken. So I have that in my file for quick reference. Okay, so you see, September the 8th, 2023, we actually had a trial. The trial was on a Zoom meeting, and the ex-husband at that time, you know what? I'm about to find how far behind he was in September of 2023. Exhibits. Excuse me. Oh, hallelujah. Let me share with you this screen right here. It pays to take your time to organize. It really, really does. I'm going to show you what my trial folder looks like and why this is saving me a ton of time. Let me share with you my exhibits folder. Okay, so again, for my law students, for my young attorneys, you're just starting, having all of your exhibits pre-labeled. R1 stands for respondents exhibit number 1. So at least here in Georgia, trial exhibits, unlike the exhibits that you would attach to a pleading, like your complaint or your answer and counterclaim. In your answer and counterclaim or in your complaint, you might put exhibit A, exhibit B, exhibit C. But in trial, your exhibits are labeled by who you are, petitioner or respondent in civil matters, and the number in which you are presenting them. So right now, when I just reopened my trial folder from September of 2023, and look, y'all, look when I was preparing this back in April. This case should have been done in April of 2023. But again, I'm going to get into that once I get to that point of my preparation. So I'm just going to go and grab and recreate all of those. Oh, but I wanted you to see, these are his arrears. In 2023, he was behind $33,000 in 2023. So let me just share a little bit with you about my attitude when it comes to parents who are paying child support, contempt of child support, and incarceration for arrears. I'm not a big fan of having people locked up when they're trying. They're doing they're doing everything that they can. They're showing consistency in their effort, for being supportive of the children. They're communicating with the mother or the father, whoever it is that is caring for the children, and they're trying. But this particular petitioner, this ex-husband, is what I call a joker. And the reason why I call him a joker, look, I forgot all about this. Oh, I need to do this one in trial this week too. This guy's such a joker. Let me show you what he sent to his ex-wife. Are y'all able to see? I just want to make sure you can see my screen. Okay, the video's over there. Look at this mess. It's I forgot about this piece of evidence. This guy's a joker, y'all. And this video is just one of the this guy is he sent this to his ex-wife, him pulling out all this money out of her bag. This was his big FU to his ex-wife, who he was not sending a dime of child support to. Okay? He was sending her nothing but this video of him with a bag full of money. Like, I got it and you ain't gonna get it. This guy he's that guy. He's a joker. And when you're dealing with a joker, it doesn't matter how much the judge tells him to do the right thing. He's not going to do the right thing. He's going to be a joker. He is going to find a way to buck the system because he's a joker. Who sends their ex-wife when they're on court-ordered child support? Who sends his ex-wife a picture of him with a bag full of money while he's violating a court order? Who does this? Who does it? I just drank some warm lemon, Mr. Gregory. I just drank some. Good morning to you. It's good to see you. Mr. Gregory, did you see that video that Joker sent to my client? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm like looking at this file again, like this is actually what happened in my case. So I'm printing out all of the exhibits. The rules require that any exhibit that I'm going to use, I have to send it to the opposing counsel ahead of time. All of these were sent to him back in 2023. I'm just going to resend this email because this is going to be the bulk of our evidence concerning who this person is and how many games he plays and how much disrespect he has for law, how much disrespect he has for court orders, how much disrespect he has for his ex-wife. This guy is a joker. Now, again, whenever you're dealing with a joker and you're hoping and praying and thinking that the court system is going to make them stop being a joker, jokers don't stop being jokers just because you get a court order. Jokers, they find ways to become very, very creative and to torment your life because it's entertaining to them. Perhaps there's just some kind of thrill that they get out of knowing that their behavior is bothering you. And so one of the One of the big things that I advise whenever you identify you are dealing with a joker, whether or not you are a party to a case and the other person, your ex, is a joker, whether you are an attorney and you are representing the other person, you are representing the person who is being uh, tormented by a joker, then you you want to understand that there's only so much that a judge can do when it comes to character issues, when it comes to personality issues, when it comes to a person's personal vendetta against you, and them being hell bent on finding creative ways to torment you. The court doesn't reach that far. It just doesn't. And when you understand that, then you can put your expectations of the justice system in the right place. Because you will be disappointed by the courts. You will be disappointed by the lawyers. You will be disappointed by a system that really can't fix what's wrong with your ex who is behaving like a joker. I know I had some more. How do I get to it? Bag full of money video. I forgot about that mess. What a joker. What a joker. Okay, so I have all of the exhibits here. So, in a trial, it is the job of the petitioner to prove his case. So, here is the next part of trial prep. I'm gonna try it this way, Mr. Gregory, with the way that you telling me to do the lemon in the water and the way to sip it. I'm going to try this. I appreciate the advice. All right, next we're going to pull out the petition. Ugh. Okay. Y'all remember that I'm on the clock. $425 an hour. This is everything before you get to court. This is all the pre-court stuff. Okay. So now I have to go through all of the documents that were filed by him. This is called a standing order. Standing orders are documents that apply to every case within this particular type of case. So it's automatic. If you file in Fulton County a family case, then domestic, meaning family, this order applies to everybody. Sometimes people get upset when they read this order because they think that their ex is doing all of this specifically against them. But as you can see, this is already signed by a judge. This particular standing order was filed in 2022 in this case, but it was signed uh, third day of January of 2020, right? So this is just about the rules of the court for this kind of case, and it applies to everyone. And my comfort to people is please don't take it personally. This applies to everyone. So here is the complaint that he filed. Let me go ahead and print it from my file. And as the person who's the petitioner or the plaintiff, he is the one that has to prove everything that he said here about, well, when after we got divorced, I had to pay child support. His child support was $2,541 a month. But ever since that time, I can't because I don't make this money anymore that I was making at the time of the divorce. And so I am asking for a modification. He cites the statute that supports his request. And he is actually asking for attorney's fees. Absolutely hilarious in light of what has been happening in this case. This notice of leave of absence, this is one of the things that stresses people out when they see the lawyer is not available for all of these different dates. Well, here's the thing. Lawyers, we are the best way to look at who we are in relationship to the court. We are contractors. We're not employees of the court. We are responsible for how we get paid. We are responsible for our time away from work, our vacation leave, our personal leave, the times that we need to take off for medical or personal reasons. And when that happens, we need to let the court know I'm not available on these days. Do not schedule me for anything during my leave. So we're required to notify the court of our leave. And I've had conversations with people who get stressed out when they see this and they want to file an objection. I'm sorry, folks. Please don't object to an attorney's leave of absence. Attorneys have the right to take vacation, to be away from the practice of law, to tell the court, I'm not available to come to court on these days. So that's what this is. Birthday love in the text messages. And she sent the chocolate cake. Look, when your people know you, your people know you. Ooh, loves the chocolate cake. Started off my day getting sang to on the phone this morning. First thing, I didn't even get my lemon water, and I was being serenaded. It's always a blessing to have folk think about you and love on you. So So that is my note on leave of absence for people who are representing yourselves. You're feeling stressed out. Objecting to that is not a good use of your time. This document is the summons. The summons is the official notice that you are being made a party to a case. This is a point of contact for you to send your response to and all other communication about the case where it should be directed. Now, this thing here, certificate of service 5.2, rule 5.2 in the state of Georgia means that I have engaged in some discovery, and this is the discovery that I served on the other side. So my client, when she was served, she was also served with discoveries. Interrogatories are questions that you need to answer, and production of documents is self-explanatory. They're asking for stuff. So we did conduct all of the discovery in this case. Discovery in Georgia, it's open for 6 months after the respondent has filed her answer. So for us, discovery closed a very, very long time ago. Can discovery be reopened? Yes, discovery can be reopened for good cause. It is, again, a part of. Okay, let me show y'all what happened. This is where you start seeing the foolishness in this case. So my client was served with discovery. We responded to discovery. We participated in it. In October, they responded to our discovery request, and this is their certificate to prove it. I tell and I warn people all the time who are representing yourselves in court, do not electronically file your discovery. Your discovery has all kind of personal information in it that when you e-file it, you give the whole public, anyone, anywhere around the world who can access the internet can see what you filed with the court. So the 5.2 certificate of service indicates that there are documents that are not being e-filed, but that are a part of the case and that should not be filed in the public record. So that's what the 5.2 represents. Never, never, never file your discovery on the record. And many people make that mistake. I've helped so many people representing themselves, and I've seen that. Okay, fast forward to March 17th of 2023. Counsel for the petitioner files a motion to reconsider and reopen his case. And guess why? Because I showed up to an event in this case. The attorney was nowhere to be found. His client was not in court. And I requested the judge to close his case as a sanction. I'm showing up. Why aren't you showing up? Every time I have to appear in court, there's money that I'm not making somewhere else. So when you're not showing up, you're disrespecting the court's time, you're disrespecting my time. So since you don't want to be here to prosecute your case, let's go ahead and have your case dismissed. And that's exactly what I did when I came to court and the opposing attorney was not there. And I'm going to show you how this attorney is playing games. He's playing games because he's not really a family attorney. He's really a criminal attorney, and he has a ton of cases that are criminal, which gives him kind of like an automatic excuse not to show up when there's stuff going on in the family court. And it's annoying. It gets on my last ever-loving nerves. Y'all don't want to know how many times I've shown up to court and he somewhere else in criminal court because he's not really a family attorney. But his client, who got the bag full of money video, has been benefiting from this loophole in the system. There's no rule in the state of Georgia that tells an attorney that, oh, well, if your practice is more than 50% criminal, you shouldn't take family cases. Or if your practice is more than 50% criminal work and you take family cases and you are not available to be in family court because of your criminal caseload, you need to withdraw from your client's case. There's no rule in Georgia like that. And there really should be one, because this case is an example of how this guy, he's a criminal attorney. And his criminal caseload is the reason why more than 2.5 years later, a case that really should have been done September 2023, is still not done. So I have recreated my file from that standpoint. I'm going to also grab my client's documents that we filed for her and her discovery that she served. Are you keeping track of how much of an expense this is at this point? How long have I been streaming? $425 for each hour. And this isn't even the day of trial. This is what your attorneys are doing in the background. Why you receive the invoice for several $1,000s each time we're actively working on your case, because it takes time. So the dad in this case actually has Airbnb income at one point in this case. Now he's saying he don't have anything. He has nothing. He no longer has his own business. He no longer has trucks. He no longer has Airbnb income. He's just destitute and doing the best that he can. This guy is such a joker. And he's been thinking that he's getting away with it because his criminal attorney is always not able to be in court. So he hasn't had to face the judge because he gets to continue to hide behind his attorney. I'm going to burn up some paper printing out all of these bank statements that he provided in discovery.
Happy birthday to you. Clap, clap, clap. Happy birthday to you. Clap, clap, clap. Happy birthday, dear mommy. Happy birthday to you. Clap, clap, clap. Happy birthday.
Thank you, kiddo. And thank you for putting that on my live stream.
What?
I'm live streaming.
Oh, you're live?
Yeah, I'm live.
Oh, what?
Where's my screen? I got so many screens open. I'm getting ready for court.
Oh.
So I'm recording what's actually happening behind the scenes in these cases because trial happens before you actually get to court.
Okay.
And I'm wanting people to see and understand why attorney's fees are so high because of the amount of time it takes for us to get ready for court. Like if an attorney is properly preparing for court, it takes a lot of time. Who is this? Thank you, Renaya. I hope I say your name right. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. Yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream, I would have been so mad. If any year before now, I would have been in 100% temper tantrum mode about having to prepare for trial on my birthday. And I am about to get into some more details about how this was very, very preventable. But again, I'm really also exposing what's broken and wrong with the system and why shenanigans like what this ex-husband and his attorney, these little games that they're playing, why the system allows them to get away with it for so long and how much it really hurts families that you have jokers playing games and manipulating the system to avoid being held accountable. And this is so bad to the point where it even has my client giving me the side eye, like I'm the one that's not doing my job. And let me tell you, there's nothing that makes me more angry than I'm doing the right thing, but somebody else who's not doing what's right is getting away with foolishness, and it's got me looking bad. It has me looking like I'm not doing my job. So my client has lost confidence in me because this has dragged on so long. And I can't really go into details about any of my communications with my client because of her right to confidentiality and my professional responsibility to her, especially since I'm putting the public aspects of this case on YouTube. So I won't be talking about my communications with her in detail, but I will say I did have to apologize to my client for being in my feelings when I found out that we were going to end up on a 2-week trial calendar that included my birthday weekend. I was furious about this, and I had to have a very firm discussion with my client, for which I later apologized and owned my emotional reaction to the 2-week calendar. Again, a lot of why I reacted this way is because I already did this trial. I already did a trial in September of 2023. And here's the practice tip for Oh, thank you, Team Truth. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm in here. Look, I'm in here working for free. I'm working for free on my birthday, which is why I was pissed. So here's the practice tip for my young attorneys and law students. One of the trends in private practice that has been growing now, it's been gaining popularity now for at least 10 years. It really started picking up steam, and that is flat fee billing. Person wants to hire you, you kind of anticipate how much work the case is going to require. And rather than billing your client the $425 an hour, you predetermine how much the total case is going to cost. I love it because I don't get into fee disputes with my clients. I tell them how much the case is going to cost. They pay me, I do the work. We never fall out about them not paying my bills. And it has worked lovely in all of my cases except for this one. This is the one and only case where what I anticipated would happen, finishing the case within a year, turned into a 2.5-year drag out nonsense. And I was contractually without any wiggle room to charge my client more without proposing an amendment to our flat fee arrangement based on the fact that I kept my promise. I did your case. I did your trial. But because we're dealing with a joker who doesn't pay his child support, my client is in financial hardship. So I'm on my birthday not being compensated and preparing for this case as though I'm being paid. As a business owner, taking these kind of L's, it will hurt your feelings. And it really did infuriate me because, again, I can't really talk about her side of it. But my side of it, one of the things that I learned earlier on, and actually back in 2022, with my flat fee arrangements, I began to break them up into categories. So this is your fee if we resolve your case without a trial. If we have to go to trial, this is how much my fee is each day of trial. So for attorneys who are doing flat fees and are trying to figure out how not to get burned on a flat fee arrangement, like this one where I anticipated no more than a year and it turned into 2.5 years, you want to chunk it down into pre-trial and then have a separate line item for your trial fee and charge per day for your trial. So I didn't do that in this case, and I ended up getting burned financially, which is why I had an attitude when I found out we were on a 2-week trial calendar, and my client cannot pay me for, as y'all see, how much time I've been on here. It's almost been an hour now. This is already $425 worth of my time. So that's just my side note practice tip for younger attorneys. If you are looking into using flat fee billing, which is lovely, 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 I love it. I don't have fights with my clients over money because of flat fee billing. I don't drop my clients in the middle of litigation once their money runs out, because my clients, they already know how much their case is going to cost, how much my representation is going to cost. If we have a payment arrangement, we work it out. Sometimes we have to have a little follow-up conversation about getting those payments in. But for the most part, I have had a drama-free legal practice because of flat fees, but you do have to, I would say, heed my L as a warning. You want to chunk up your flat fees based on different things. Like even when it comes to discovery, I have a line item for discovery. This is my flat fee if we have to conduct follow-up discovery requests, supplemental discovery requests. Every event that could happen from filing to trial, and even post-trial stuff. So if you're preparing documents for transfer of the retirement accounts, if you're preparing deeds, have a flat fee for each type of event. And if you are a younger attorney or someone who's in solo practice and wanting to have some samples or templates of what that looks like, please shoot me an email over to support@lawforlove.com. I'm happy to send you over my templates, and you can save yourself a lot of time by using the templates that I have and having a list of your flat fee charges so that you don't get burned on a case that you underestimated. And the reason, again, why this case was underestimated was because I didn't realize how deep the rabbit hole went with how far this joker would go to torment his ex-wife. And I did not realize that his attorney was gaming the system. I wanted to see if there was a way I could show you some of the stuff that's been happening to like help you see these. So I had the case dismissed on March 14th, 2023. Let me share my screen, let you see the docket. So you see on March 14th, I was not playing with him. I had his case dismissed. We had the 120-day here in February. Oh my goodness. February, we had a conference. And he, like, the attorney wasn't there, the ex-husband wasn't there. I was so irritated, like, bro. I'm not sitting up here showing up to court and you're not here. So I asked the court in the hearing if I could have his case dismissed. The court said absolutely. I prepared the order here and got this case thrown out. And then his case was dismissed. The judge signed off on it the same day I sent it in. That was funny. 3 days later, opposing counsel filed a motion that had the case reopened. And also, the case was reopened. I don't see the order that reopened it, though. We received a trial notice. His case was reopened, but there was no order here. Huh. We received the trial notice August of 2023. And we had to appear and get our court date. So he's always filing leave, all kind of leave. Now, it's kind of interesting though, because now that I look at it, what he's been sending in the email side of this case has been conflict notices with all of his criminal cases. Let me show you what these things look like. and also know, y'all, I got a real unique kind of strategy for even doing this as a live stream, because I'm tired. I'm really, really tired of the system not even working for me as an advocate within the system. Like at this point, it's personal. It's very, very personal at this point. Here's my inbox on this case. They send these conflict notices all the time. So check this out. This was sent on February the 8th. This conflict notice. Oh, no, that was an email chain. This was me responding to them yesterday about their little raggedy conflict. We've been doing some attempting to settle, but he's not settling in good faith. He's playing games. He's thinking I'm too tired to fight. So this is what they do. They send these conflict notices with all these different cases that he has. So like if you see like this first case right here, it's criminal. Whenever you see state V, that's a criminal case. All these state V, these are his cases that he's on. And he's saying that all of these cases are scheduled and they have priority over the family case this week. He has one juvenile case. That case doesn't have priority. This is our case here, the family case. State V, here's the more criminal. He's taking all this criminal work. You see all these state V cases? These are all his cases that are criminal cases. This is a family case here. And this one is a family case. So he has a couple of family cases. He had 4 family cases and 2, 4, 6 criminal cases that hit on the same week. So he's saying that he is following the rule. He's citing the Rule 17 of the Georgia Uniform Court Rules. He's notifying everybody that he has conflicts. And here is his he's supposed to report in a criminal case. And now he's saying because he has to report, it doesn't even say trial, y'all. This one here for what date is this? Hall County. This is a state, 9 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't even have a date, y'all. Like, where is the date? Why are you saying you can't come to court tomorrow? This doesn't, oh, okay. So he's saying that all of this is for February the 10th. Okay. Jury trial on State versus Priscilla Skirvin. Let me go look at this case. This case, he provided the case number. All these cases, he's supposed to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning. And these are all somewhere else, not all in the same county. And this isn't unusual, y'all. This is a family case here. Number 4. Number 5 is a family case. He's saying that he has to report. No, sir. You have a trial on this number 2 here. And why is it listed as number 2? Okay, so he's saying that this is his priority. Number 1 is the case he has to report on here. He has 2 criminal cases. What's the good word?
Is that who I think it is? Is it the birthday girl? Is that who I think it is?
Hello, Kim Gozi. How are you, honey?
I'm doing well, Mom. How are you?
I'm blessed. I am blessed. I'm literally live streaming. I have you on speaker, so don't say nothing embarrassing.
I just wanted to call to sing you a happy birthday.
Oh, Thank
I
you.
love
I
so
love you
much.
too.
I will see you later this week.
I'm looking forward to seeing your face. You already know.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you doing?
Okay. I'm on my way to work.
Awesome. Well, thank you for blessing me with the sound of your voice and for thinking of me.
Of course. Of course. Okay.
All right.
Relaxing. I love you.
I love you too. Okay. My child will not let me say goodbye. It just feels too final. So we don't say goodbye. We just hang up. I love you. Click. I am looking at this other case that he listed. Like, I hate having to go and double check behind somebody who's supposed to be a professional to see if they're actually telling the truth. He said the name of the case was. Y'all see how long it take me to figure out stuff that I gotta see? State versus Robert Carter. State versus Robert Carter. It's not even coming up under that number. Did he say it was let me look up Barrow County. Like, the time I could be doing something else, I'm having to check behind him because he keep playing these games. Because he thinks that, well, he knows that my client can't afford a second trial. So he wants to wear her down to the point where she willing to accept any kind of settlement. But bro, your client is the one with the bag full of money. Stunting on camera, real ignorant like. Absolutely not. I don't even see this case on the docket. The one he listed, I'm searching for this case number that he listed as number 1 in front of Judge Green on February the 10th. That he's supposed to report to. And I'm looking for it in the official court records online through Peach Court. I don't see this case. State versus Robert Carter. Is there another way for me to find out where he's supposed to be? No, I'm not finding this case number in Peach Court. Let me share my screen so y'all can see. I copied this case number right out of his document. There's Peach Court. I copied the case out of his document. I pasted it. I told the system to only show me an exact match. It's not showing up. No results. According to his notice, it's a Superior Court case. I hope y'all are appreciating that this is behind the scenes. This is what we have to do when we are preparing for trial. We literally have to sit up here and invest who knows how much time preparing ourselves, reviewing the case. I haven't even gotten into like how I'm actually the order I'm going to be presenting stuff. I'm still just doing preliminary research to prepare myself. Now, can you imagine why it would be extremely frustrating to invest time on my birthday on the weekend before we were told this past Tuesday let me tell you when we went to court, y'all. So here's the ignorance. We went to court on February the 4th. We were notified to be in court for calendar call. All these attorneys were there, ready to let the judge know, oh, judge, I can't do this day because I'm supposed to be here. I can't do this day because I'm supposed to be here. This counsel had his opportunity to do that. But guess who wasn't there? He wasn't there. I ended up getting hemmed up, waiting for him to show up after I text him, hey, we're in court and the judge is waiting for your announcement. By the time the judge got back around to our case, and I had to move a couple of appointments I had, my clients that pay me, I had to move their cases, hung up in court with this joker. He was not there to tell the judge, oh, I can't do Monday the 10th because I have to be in Barrow County on a criminal matter. He didn't do that. He was a no-show. And then when I notified him that we had court for tomorrow, he had his office send a notice that he has a conflict in a criminal case that he has to go to first thing Monday morning. So we're doing a little back and forth. We're doing a little back and forth with me objecting because I'm not doing any more blank trips. I'm not doing it. I'm not showing up uncompensated while you playing games and prolonging your client facing this court and proving his good faith reason for not paying child support. I'm tired of this cat and mouse show that you are putting on by using your criminal caseload to delay justice for my client. I'm tired. Let me look for his client by name. His name is Robert Carter. All right. And it was a 23 case number. and it is a criminal case. Let me just go ahead and open it up. I'm going to broaden this search to see if I can find this man's case. Now, the reason why I'm having to do this is because I emailed the court saying, can I be excused from showing up? He's not going to be there. So I need the judge to call me in after this man resolves his conflict in the other court where he claimed he's supposed to be. And I haven't heard back from the court yet, and might not even hear from the court before I'm supposed to be there at 9:30 tomorrow. These are all civil cases. Is there another way for me to search? These are all civil cases. So because I haven't heard from the court, I got to get ready regardless. Because guess what's going to happen? This guy could be playing games all he wants to, but if I just don't show up for court, now I'm looking at being in contempt. See, this is what's so crazy about all of this. On Friday, they send their conflict notice. Oh, I got to be all the way over in Barrow County, which is not right around the corner from Fulton, by the way, for a trial. So I made my objection known that I'm not just trying to be showing up to court and he's not going to be there. Like who's paying for me to be sitting up in court waiting for him to finish somewhere else when he had the opportunity to tell the court his availability? He did not do that. He's playing games. And the judge can't force him to put a domestic case in priority over a criminal case. I was able to find it by using this other website that's directly connected to the county court. Now, here's what's irritating. This guy got some charges. I don't see like the court date or the court notice on here. He filed his conflict letter. But I'm not even seeing like where is the court notice? Where's the court date? Like, how do I know he's actually in court tomorrow? How do we know he's actually in court tomorrow? He doesn't file the court notice. We just have to take it on good faith that this report that he puts here is actually for a trial. I can't independently verify that he's not just playing games, the same game he been playing. Why I had the case dismissed back in March of 2023. So I'm sitting around having to figure out, do I go to court tomorrow at 9:30? Or will the judge call me in and give me an hour to get there? Once they hear back from Attorney Bramblett, I don't know. And this is the kind of stuff why the way that the system is set up, it makes no sense. Hey, Auntie Shalom. I'm on here tracking my time, chasing crazy. I'm supposed to go to trial tomorrow because I showed up and I let the judge know how much time we were going to need. But the other attorney did not show up. And then when our case got scheduled for tomorrow, he started scrambling and sending notices saying, oh, I got to be in a criminal trial on Monday. So I'm in limbo, not knowing if I have to go to court tomorrow. And it's very, very annoying because every time you have to get ready for court, you need to touch your file. You need to, I'm sorry, I'm the type of attorney, I'm not just going to go in there not preparing for court. I'm going to look and figure out, okay, where's my file? Where's my evidence? What do I need to do, and what order do I need to do it in? Because again, I'm a person with a impairment. I can't just fly by the seat of my pants. So every time we get called into court, I have a certain degree of preparation I have to do to compensate for my physical impairment. So I have reprinted the file mostly. I can't confirm that this guy actually has a trial tomorrow. The judge's office has sent him an email saying, please keep us updated on the status of your case. The judge's office has also called BS on him attempting to not be in court tomorrow for another family case that does not trump our case. My prayer, and what I'm asking you to agree with me on, is that we get closure for my birthday. That this case gets done tomorrow. That the attorney that's playing games and manipulating the conflict system to delay this case more than it should have been. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. Shar, I thought you said you already did the trial. Yes, we already did the trial. Let me tell you what happened. So we did the trial, and he went and he did the ex-husband. He put on all his testimony about how he doesn't have any money, how he can't afford his child support, whatever. So when I began to cross-examine him, I began to pull out his bank statements and have him testify to the bank statement evidence. Y'all, after this man filed his petition and had not been paying a dime of child support, he had 1 month with $13,421.24 worth of deposits. The month before that, $13,421.24 of deposits. Oh, that's a duplicate. Let me shred that. He had another month. Why are all of these the same? Again, this is why you have to review your file, because I have some duplicates. He had another month with $20,739.65 of deposits. I need to print out that third month because it was the 3 month. I only used 3 months of the statements that he sent me to show the court that he had money coming in and out of his account. He had paid $0 in child support to my client. And then, and I was actually asking for incarceration in this case. I don't believe that parents should be locked up when they're trying to do what they need to do to support their kids. I'm not a lock them up lawyer. especially being from the African American community, and because of the injustices and the systematic discrimination against our people, I am the last one who would seek incarceration of a Black person in a family case. That's just my personal principle, that I'm not quick to have somebody incarcerated or to request an incarceration. In 14 years of my legal career, I have only sought incarceration twice. And this is the second time I've ever sought incarceration. So during the trial, I opened up and let this judge know that I am asking for an arrest warrant for contempt, because I'm showing willful disrespect of this court and a refusal to pay child support. Those bank statements, $20,000, $13,000. I think another one was, let me pull it up. It was the 3 months. I pulled up those bank statements. This one is $6,000, $6,077, $6,077, 13,421, 20,739. The month before that, 6,121, 8,665, 6,439. You couldn't shoot some bread to your ex-wife. You couldn't send her $200. You had money coming in and out of your account, and you gave her nothing. And then I questioned him about that prior year during Christmas. He put $500 cash in the child's hand and sent nothing to his ex-wife. At that point in the trial, I can't hear you. Something wrong with the phone. I can't hear. He played games on the Zoom trial, y'all, and we could not proceed with completing the trial. At the moment that I had shown willful contempt with the amount of money going in and out of this man's bank accounts, his phone stopped working, his internet stopped working. We got to reschedule trial. Now, at the beginning of this broadcast, I shared with you that this case is the perfect storm of everything that could go wrong in family court and why you need to know. This judge, Judge Newkirk, was hearing our case in that Zoom trial during his last week before he retired from the bench. He wasn't in a position to see us again. He wasn't in a position to remember the foolishness. He said at the end of that day, he said, I'm going to reschedule y'all to come in person down here in Fulton County. And sir, I can't promise that you're going to leave the courthouse unless I see a serious dent in these arrears. Remember, I showed at the beginning of this video $33,000 of arrears back in September of 2023. Right now, he's sitting like just under $70,000, around that, $70,000 of arrears. Joker, y'all. Joker. You can't complete a trial if the other person can't respond and cross-examine you. And that was the game he played. So all of the things that I'm doing today on my birthday to prepare for trial, I did back in September of 2023. I was ready, willing, and able to get my client her day in court, to have him held accountable for not paying child support, for giving the judge all of the evidence that he needed to have this joker locked up, especially after that bag full of money video that he sent my client. But here we are 2.5 years later after the case was originally filed. I'm not compensated and preparing for court on my birthday, not knowing if I need to go to court at 9:30 in the morning. So that's why I'll be broadcasting live in the morning. We'll see. Does the court email me and tell me Miss Selassie, you don't have to come to court? Or am I going to get ghosted and I'm driving down to Fulton County in Atlanta's finest traffic just to sit there knowing that the attorney's not going to be there? Will the court respond to my request to be able to go down there on an hour's notice? Or will the shenanigans continue and this attorney think that he's continuing to wear us down and not be willing to do a trial? We will see. So I'm going live at 8 o'clock. I'm praying that I have an update from the court, because if I have to be there at 9:30, then I need to leave my house to get the court to get situated by 9:30. I need to leave my house no later than 8:30. Now I could take the train down there, and I do prefer taking the train. I might do that, and it depends on how I feel. Maybe I might take the train downtown tomorrow. Maybe I'll drive. The weather's been nicer, and I do really like taking the train. So I may not drive down there at all. If I need to take the train, I still need to leave my house an hour before court. So we'll see. And I'll just be streaming it live tomorrow. I'm praying for justice. I'm praying for justice, not only for my client and some closure that this family needs, because the family situation has deteriorated during the 2.5 years that we've been supposed to just be dealing with the child support stuff. Other stuff has been happening, and the family is deteriorating because of this case just opened. And again, a part of the delay, a big chunk of the delay, was that our judge retired. But the opposing counsel is also trying to wear me down to the point where I force my client to take a settlement that's just based off of numbers he pulled out of his butt. Like, we're not doing that either. Like, we'll try this case. I'm not being paid, but I'm going to do my job. I'm going to show up for my client. I am going to put on her case, and we are going to leave this thing for the judge to close it. The question is, will this be done tomorrow? I am praying that. I'm asking you to add your agreement to my prayer, because this is the last case of my litigation, my work as a litigator. I'm done, y'all. This is the last one. This is the last one. I am in full-time alternative conflict resolution, full-time arbitration, full-time mediation, full-time training and equipping other people to understand the legal system and to not have to go through this kind of mess. At this point, we are 1 hour, 33 minutes into the broadcast. I just want to go ahead and just do the quick math in terms of what my billable hours are. 1.5 hours times $425. This was $637.50 that I am owed for my time to get ready for a case that I don't know if it's going to go forward tomorrow. And if it does go forward, that's going to be an additional 4 hours minimum for us to go ahead and duke it on out. So we'll see how it goes. I hope that you can join me and keep me company. I'm hoping that this is helping you to see the underbelly of the system, what's wrong with it, why attorney's fees are so expensive, why you don't need to be up in these family courts fighting, the kind of mess you might run into between judges that retire and attorneys that play a game with the conflict system of the courts, because they really practice in criminal cases more than they practice in family cases, and they're using the criminal cases to not show up. That's what's been happening here. That's what I'm tired of. That is a part of why I'm documenting the frustration, because this has to stop, and I'm no longer participating in it. As soon as this case is closed, as soon as this case is done, I'm off the rolls. I'm done. My very, very last case as an advocate in court. So thank you so much for the love. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing what's going to happen tomorrow. Praying for closure for my birthday. I need closure, and so does my client. All the best, y'all. Love you.